Welcome to ACN, the Liberation TV of Ambazonia. Ambazonia Defense Forces, the vanguards of the Ambazonia War of Independence.
All right, my fellow Ambazonians. Una good evening for all una. I be una brother Asu. Una the press secretary for the executive office for governing council of Ambazonia. That means that I be the spokesperson for the office for the leader for our war of independence. Una good evening for all our big papa them and our big mommy them. Good evening for all our uncle them and our auntie them. Good evening for all our neighbors them and for all Ambazonian picking them. Good evening for all Ambazonians who they did for that side for Nigeria, all Ambazonians who they did for that side for Ghana, all Ambazonians who they don't run the country, they don't run our land, they don't run our territory because of this war for find place where they feel be safe for all our people them. For that side, for the Persian Gulf and the Middle East, our hustlers them for that side, especially our boys them and our women, our girls them for Dubai, where we the hustle for that side, after we salute. For all our people them, for that side for the Caribbean country them, for that side for Latin America, even so till you reach for that side for Cuba self. And so to una salute, and no say una do for waka, and una try for find consort, for make sure say una feel reach either for Canada or for the United States of America. And so to una salute. All our people they did for that side for Brazil. And so salute una. What people they did for that side for New Zealand. And salute also una. And then what people they did for that side for Australia, for Malaysia, for Singapore, for the one they did for China, the one they did for Hong Kong, the one they did for Japan, even so the one they did for India, and for that side for Pakistan, and not forget the one they did for Bangladesh, and so to way all man salute, Ambazonia they did all across the globe, will be scattered all over the world. And then the one they did for the big continent of Europe. We so throw away all man. We salute una. We know say na evening time for una time day, maybe na dinner time for una. We say una. We salute all una stay fine. Then good afternoon for all Ambazonia who they did for this side for North America. And then na good morning because for some people them for this side for North America na shasha morning. For some people them na afternoon. So we salute all una whether na morning or na afternoon. We so salute una. Una welcome my fellow Ambazonians. Today I don't come with great news. I don't come now for can. I want to respond. I want to send a response to Mefo Info, the platform where they call it Mefo Info. I want to send a response for this platform. But before we go for it, while the people there for ACN, they take we for stream with live for ACN. I go also want salute all our people them where they also follow we for Facebook and for ACN YouTube page for YouTube. All right, make I take the time. I salute our people them for Facebook. We go start the story. I get a lot of things for talk about, which I want to talk about today. Now, why we stand for the truth, why we speak the truth, even if not inconvenient truth, why we get for speaker. And why will be effective. Then I will send a response to Mefo. Number one, why we stand for the truth, why we speak the truth, even if it be an inconvenient truth, why would he speak them? And why will be effective? Then finally, I will send a response to Mefo Info. Make us salute the people for Facebook. And then we go start. All right. I see I see what Don Man, Ambazonia FBI, Comrade Capo Daniel, the Deputy Defense Chairman for Ambazonia Defense Forces, Akochu Cafe, Deputy Chairman, Comrade Georges, Mr. Arantes, I salute you, Comrade Biko Khan, the man with colorful coats. We salute you. Welcome, great activist. Queen Amber Treasy, Amber. We salute you, Mami. Ozurumba, we salute you, Mr. Ozurumba. All right, Comrade Roland Niba, we salute you. Ateteko, we salute you, Mr. Wilson, Mr. Chair, welcome, Mr. Chese, welcome. Terrence, welcome. Tam, Mr. Christopher, welcome. Mr. Ngwafi, welcome. We salute all now. Comrade Obedience, welcome to the house. All right. Comrade Sekum, welcome. Mr. Mike Davis, welcome. We salute all man. Comrade Frank Sizzler, welcome. These people, then Frank Sizzler, this guy. Now, welcome for all man. All right, Comrade Mbaku, welcome. All man for house. He plays day. Comrade Foku, welcome. Comrade Oliver, welcome. All right, Comrade Ndekem, welcome. Mr. Anthony, welcome. All right, Comrade Asangaya, welcome. Mr. Asong, welcome. Amber Freedom, I caught you cafe. All right, now what you do for you, Comrade Barretta Milan. Comrade Barretta Milan, welcome. Comrade Barretta Milan. These people, this Ambazonian. Comrade Musa Isa, welcome. Welcome. Comrade Ransom, welcome. We salute all my Comrade James Mann, welcome. Wilby, we salute you too. Comrade Priscilla, we salute you. Madame Fontaine, welcome. All right. Mavelu, we salute you. Pawanka, we salute all. Una Ambali squad. Your place there, all money place there for house. Comrade Kenneth, we salute all now. Comrade Utude for you. Comrade Tafo, we salute all now. Mr. Somerset, welcome. All right. Comrade Emmanuel Aziz, welcome for house. All money place there. All right. Mr. Bison, we salute you, Mr. Bison. all man for house. Una place there. The story today over plenty. The story over plenty. First, make we start with the good news we come up for Ground Zero this morning. For sharp morning for Ground Zero. The Ambazonia Defense Forces Brigade for the great state of Mezam, right? For the Bamenda Brigade. They don't work very hard as the leader, Dr. Abacho, the leader for a war of liberation. Just now 3 days ago and 4 days ago, he come from outside. He can't tell the Ambazonian people, say, the strategy where he be designer for liberate Ambazonia, the strategy where the governing council of Ambazonia, he put them together as the liberation roadmap. He talks, say, after 4 years of effectiveness, the game don't change, the war don't change. That strategy, a time, it don't come, a time, it don't pass. That strategy, it don't end. The strategy don't do the work we be supposed to do. Now, the leader talks, say, they don't design a new strategy for carry away for place where would they, for go to the end point, for give Ambazonia total liberation, total freedom. That's what the leader put on. So immediately, they roll out the new strategy. The Ambazonia Defense Forces, the intelligence unit, they immediately, through the central command, when I know say ADF, they get a 2 command center. 1 command center, where they for outside here, when after they design the plan them, with the general them for ground, and another command center, where they for Ground Zero, for implement plan. So ADF get 2 command center. The command center for the war council, where they for outside, for design plan, design strategies, and then with the command center winner for Ground Zero, for execute the plan, execute the strategy for liberation. So when the strategy it be finalized by the war council, when they lead the war for Ground Zero, the generals then for ground, they start for implement the strategy immediately. That one been 3 days ago. Just today, for this early morning, for Ambazonian time, the implementation of that strategy, it take place. For the first first time we dey implement this strategy. For inside the big city of Bamenda, as ADF promised La République du Cameroon, they carry out 2 bomb attacks. What they call them say improvised explosive device or IED. 2 for 2 places for the same time, just within the space of 10 minutes. The first bomb, it take place behind travelers. That one, for the place where they set the trap, and the place where the bomb, it go off. When they know say the rats, the La République terrorist forces, they don't can gather for that place where they set them the trap. They touch button. Boom! That one is scatter 4 of them. 4 scatter. One part of the armor car is scatter them too. As that one that they gather, the other one them, where they don't go gather for the other place, because ADF they only operate now based on strategy. The next say if we knock this action, they go run for go secure the other place. As the one go secure the other place, they knock them too. That one, it happened for hospital roundabout. For that one, from which the report will get them, it only injured plenty of them. They not tell we the number them way a person, what that one, how many of them will be killed for that one. Now so this morning time it start for Bamenda. It shake place. It shake place. No place, no day for La République Army, Police and Gendarme. No place for Ambazonia. No place for Ambazonia where these people they will touch their food day, they feel safe. Whether not for armor car, whether not for any colonial institution or infrastructure, any place where they use them for inside Ambazonia, it be a direct target. As we don't talk before, the occupational forces where they be in charge for implement Cameroon occupation and colonialism for Ambazonia. Now the first targets them that. The second targets now all the infrastructure of occupation. That means say anything where Cameroon colonial government it use them for implement occupation, annexation, and colonialism. Now the second target that. The third target. Now any enabler of black leg, any person when I help La République du Cameroon for implement colonialism, occupation, and annexation of Ambazonia, that person is also a target. Because now that person they facilitate Cameroon terrorism on Ambazonia. Now that person it help Cameroon for carry out genocide for Ambazonia. Now that person they help Cameroon for keep Ambazonian them under tyranny and under repression. Now the third target that. The world don't change. The world don't change. A different ball game. Because the ground don't change. And how for fight La République for change? How for fight the enablers, the traitors, the black legs? How for fight them get for change? For any leadership to be effective, it must tell the truth to their people. You know if you create change until you tell the truth to yourself, to your family, to your community, to the organization, and to the state. Even if my family, it get for change. Number one, when the family get for admit and tell themselves the truth of what they go through. A community not change until the people they tell themselves the truth of the problem where they face them. You not solve a problem until you acknowledge the existence of the problem. You not fit solve a problem until you acknowledge the existence of that problem and the context of that problem and how it affect you and impact you. The Ambazonian people, they don't be deceived since 1961 by failed politicians where they want just make people that like them, with failed ideologies where they never move the people 1 inch. So it be inconvenient for a generation of people where for most of their lives, the only thing they don't know is a lie. The only thing they don't know now the kind lie where politicians they tell them. The colonial elites they tell them. Oh. When the colonial elites they tell them. That's the only thing that they don't know. So truth for most people, they fear. They fear truth because people no one admit. Say they face certain problems. Or they face certain challenges. Or they go through certain tough times. Or with the elites, they propose them for them. The elites, they not get the power for the one. So they can't lie for the people there. People don't be too comfortable with lies. The truth be very painful. Same thing for this Ambazonian War of Independence. 2017. The whole concept of how Ambazonia go gain independence, it be all a lie. That's what they lie for our people there. They build organizations based on lies. These things will be inconvenient for a lot of people then. You not fit create change until you admit, say a problem there. You not fit create change and progress with lies. Go ask Cameroon. Go ask Pobia. Go ask La République. You not fit create change and progress with lies. Pobia na a good testament. La République na a very good example. So the concept, the idea of how Ambazonia will gain independence, it be on a lie. It be on a lie. The politicians they lie for Ambazonians. And it led to the death of many Ambazonians because of those lies. And how they promise this, they promise people say Ambazonia will gain independence. Now so now we're 4 years later. All those things don't turn out for being a lie. Why would not we admit them? Now a sign of humility. Now a sign of character. The only way for make progress now for admit the lies. You talk say based on what thinking, those things will not be correct. And then you craft a new strategy. You reassure the people. Say because of which you don't learn them. Now the new way this will take them for gain independence. It will be inconvenient, even for me. When Dr. Akwanga and Dr. Ebacho, they can't start for tell we say, all those politicians that lie una no go gain independence for the plate of gold. No man who will take independence for envelope. They can't give una. Dr. Akwanga and Dr. Eba, they start for tell we. Even me, I not be believer. Which they talk? Okay. Even me, I not be believer. Even me, I be fight Dr. Akwanga. I be doubt Dr. Ayaba. For the late part of 2016. Then I can't start for study the revolution. I can't start for study Akwanga background. I can't start to look into Ayaba background. And I say, these two people, they make sense. I say, these two people, they make sense. Will not fight and do the same thing with the people them for since 1961, they don't do one. And do social agitation and do protest and form movements and call people leaders. Will not do those things with the same system of occupation we still there. And think said they will give you independence. Or the world will just run. They come and say, yeah, Ambazonia, una can't take independence. So I start for study Dr. Kwanga. I start for study Dr. Ayaba. And I say, these guys, they get something way. The other one, they not get them. I start for look into the other movements. Now, who be this person? What be background? How we don't study revolution? Now, how it can be for this position? Wait till you understand. I go back, I go start for watch all many videos about what they don't talk about this revolution. And they try to find the patterns of consistency. And they try to find the connecting dots between what they propose and for the people and what their actions so that they take up. So I start to see a disconnection between the politicians, where they only talk say, Ambazonia go gain independence, but they need to tell una how. Versus Dr. Kwanga, we start for preach AK-47, and we start for call him Papa AK. That time when Akwanga be a real rebel leader, all right. When Akwanga be speak from my heart. When Akwanga be Akwanga. And he speak from my real heart. From Ambazonia. I start for study Dr. Ayaba. I go back. I watch all their previous videos. I say, these two people, they make sense. The one, Akwanga believe, it tell we talk about AK. But Akwanga no be give we roadmap. If you only tell we say self-defense, but he no give roadmap and he no give strategy. Now the only difference that I say, okay. The only person for all these people then, all the movements, I study them from my background as a leadership strategist and a coach. Because I don't do the work for the past 10 years. So I feel do that kind of analysis and put that kind of evidence together. So I start for study Dr. Ayaba work. I see the consistency. I see the roadmap we propose. I see the 3 steps for a roadmap. I start for look for those roadmap, how it be applicable. I say, okay, you need to just talk. You don't start build the idea for ground. I say that the only person this, for all these people them, where it not only makes sense, but it get the character of effectiveness. Now for the what work, it can't start change. The work can start change. I create a platform. I be call and say what Africans really want. I be do that advocacy for that platform for Facebook. I be bring all this background because truth for a lot of people they don't like them. For place who they, every movement it must tell the truth of their deception on the Ambazonian people. Every movement, the failed movements, their deception on the Ambazonian people and the consequences of their actions for slow down war of independence. So when would he call leaders into public account? Not because na something about a specific leader. Not because we want to make leaders they finally do the right thing for the Ambazonian people. Then. Sometimes, until you do public critique, people know will change. So public critique sometimes, especially the way we do it, in a respectable way, but unblinkingly, because we must speak the inconvenient truth to ourselves and to our people. All right? The way we do it create a level of effectiveness for the Ambazonian War of Independence. The Governing Council of Ambazonia and the Ambazonia Defense Forces, under the leadership of Dr. Ayabacho, it don't set the standard of leadership excellence for the Ambazonian people there. For the collective history of Ambazonia, no Ambazonian leader, it don't ever rise. Go do the research. Any man fit do this research. All the information there for internet. It there for books. Go take all Ambazonian leaders and they don't ever exist. For stand up for fight for Ambazonia. Go look, study every single one of them. You will come for the same scientific conclusion. Not because in name na Yaba, but not because of the effectiveness of a leadership. It turned out for be the best of the best of every single Ambazonian leader will ever exist. In terms of its intelligence and tactical thinking. In terms of its strategic orientation. In terms of its methodology for plan things them into nitty-gritty details. Where they fit gear for any person, you implement them and you go succeed. So, why it be important? It be important because it stand for the truth, even when that truth be inconvenient. It tell the people the truth, even when that truth be painful. So, it set the standard of institutional excellence, and then it defined the path of liberation. Every other movement, it go follow. When I watch, every movement for Ambazonian War of Independence, it go follow the path where Dr. Ayabadan lay out. Whether they want to admit him or not, whether they like him or they not like him, the inconvenient truth, they go follow that path. If they want maintain relevance, the one they would choose for follow the old ideology, for follow the old path, they go become irrelevant. The one way they build their movement now on manipulation and lies, it's a matter of time. They go crumble. Now a law of life. Every movement will get better. So the standard we don't set up, the path we don't create up, and the way we execute leadership and public advocacy and education, it go force every movement go change. In order for them to exist, they must change. And that change, it will be not the best thing for Ambazonia. My criticism or critique of the IGK, it will force that institution for change. For the greater benefit of the Ambazonian people. My public critique of the IGK, it force them for engineer change. That change, it be good for that organization. It be good for the Ambazonian people them. And the change they come, when I go see them. At some point, all man, things they go align for Ambazonians. That's why I did take the steps for take them, for push the level of thinking of the people and their level of leadership. It be inconvenient. You need to get a backbone. You need to get a spine of steel for do this kind of work in order for push the people them beyond their comfort zone. In order for tilt leadership for the way for the place where it will serve the people their greatest aspiration and their greatest interest, and improve this movement, their capacity to deliver results instead of empty noise. A different ball game We define the standard, we set the standard, and we create the path. Any other no movement not get any choice for survive, for them for live and survive, and for the movement for be relevant for Ambazonian people, their culture, their history. They must change. There is no other way. There's no other way. All these people that they run their mob, they go change. Because we change the psychology and the neurology of the Ambazonian people then. Ambazonia no go tolerate mediocrity anymore. We must set a stage of greatness for our people then. Not before tolerate mediocrity and ineffectiveness. We no go accept them. So that's how they set a standard. So, a few days ago, the leader of our war of independence, as always, he don't always speak out. So the things that happen for ground, for the Ambazonian people them, they not reflect the code of conduct where they set them for the liberation of homeland. See, a lot of these people then, where they talk say they get forces for ground, forces without a command and control structure, forces without political education, forces without accountability. It causes a lot of chaos for ground zero. And as a leader, he get for speak out for preserve the integrity of Ambazonian liberation. He get for speak out against the kidnapping for ransom, against the kidnapping, against the extortion, against the harassment where it take place on the ground by a small group, a few forces where they not get leadership accountability. By a few forces. So now where the leader, he don't can speak out as a way for foster change for ground zero and get the population for expose any of these things. Because our population, our highest priority for this war of liberation, in terms of for protect them, the war now for the people them. So anything, any action, any behavior, where forces that they carry them out, where go instead cause some pain or some disconnection and trust within the population, it be now a place for any effective leader for speak out. So the leader of our war of independence, he don't come out, he can't speak out.
Power on. Bluetooth pairing.
Dr. Ebadon can speak out.
Bluetooth connected.
You know, can speak out against all these things where they happen for ground zero, so that those things, they will not only be known by the population, because the population know them, but the commanders they need for hearing from the leader, say we no go tolerate them. And he put the audio out. Now we first of all, my plan for una here. I play the audio for now. Because it be very, very important for people then for gain clarity about this leadership excellence. Give me a moment here. I'll make sure see I get them. I got the right audio. Okay, I don't see them. Find this.
When I see a soldier dies because of thug. Good morning, everyone. When I see a soldier dies because of thuggery, stealing. I feel ashamed. Memory lost, memory wasted. I feel ashamed that brave men and women who've risen up to challenge Cameroon have become petty criminals, trying to get food, going around harassing people, begging for food. I do not only feel ashamed, I feel angry. Anger towards such persons more than I even have anger towards La Republique. It's a disgrace. Mandela spent 27 years in jail, never blinked, was forced to do hard labor. Hard labor. The South Africans endured for more than half a century. You have guys who've been fighting for 4 years. They've turned themselves into petty criminals. Instead of being seen as heroes within our communities, instead of being seen as people who protect our civilians, they are being seen as tormentors. Not tormenting, to get things done. Tormenting to eat, to drink. How cheap some of you have become. General Ivo should be frowning and mourning. All those great patriots, Fiango and the others, should be looking at such persons with awe and disdain. It is distasteful, to see soldiers falling because they are harassing the population. You people haven't got brains or what? The other day I said I imposed a foreign direct tax on all foreign businesses. People are going around tormenting mothers in the villages, even where they are burying their death. What is sacrilege? What is sacrilege to the customs and tradition that will hold dear? What has become of some of you? What has really become of some of you? Who are you? What are you fighting for? Join La Republique Army and become a tormentor. Stop giving a bad name to our struggle for liberation. Stop giving us, sleepless night every day. Every day you're going around picking up people, transporting them, collecting money. You remember Charles Taylor? He was a warlord, became president. You know where he is? In jail somewhere. You know Prince Johnson? Let me tell you something. Everyone, even patriots, nationalists, who spend their time tormenting the population, those who encourage, propagate, torture, systematic brutality, thuggery against our own civilian population, it's a matter of time. If your body don't lie on the street wasted to be eaten by vultures, the Amazonian justice will look after you. No one will remember your bravery. They will only remember the torment that you instill in the body politics of the Amazonian society. You cannot turn a people's war for freedom into a war of shame, where every day I'm being questioned by journalists about A, B, or C because of criminals and irresponsibility of commanders who work within these places. How is it possible that you have a soldier within your camp that keeps giving your camp a bad name? On a daily basis, we don't sleep, making sure we can provide. You people should be creative, ingenious. The Kurds, who have been fighting for more than 60 years, created restaurants, the kebab, to be able to generate money. People are going around stealing, killing people, tormenting and harassing people. It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace, and not in our name, not in the name of the Amazonian people. It's in your name.
All right. So now the message that where the leader, now the audio that where the leader make them,
Power
send
on.
them for all commanders them. For send for all commanders them. When the leader make the message, he send for all commanders them for ground zero. For tell them, say no be for Ambazonian people their name. Those actions, where they don't, that bad fashion, where they infiltrators, they don't teach them for ground zero. Where the people them, lazy people them, where they shit down for diaspora. They form small boys for ground. They start for use them for make this money. The leader send this message. And those things that they cause soldier that they die. When the leader don't send this message for outside, for a case, because when he make him move this audio, he vex, he hears a son soldier, an Ambazonian soldier, he go do bad things them for community. They catch and beat them. So they die. Now we make it vex. For send this message for all commanders them and for the population. Say we no go tolerate them. We must speak this truth, even if it be inconvenient. Now the cure. Expose them. Cameroon, it no go ever change. Because even when their government, they make all kind of mistakes, there are people that no one speak them out. Even when their army, they do all those atrocities, they no one speak them out. We get for speak them out. It not reflect our character and our code of conduct. The leader don't send out a message. Now we Mefo info, Mefo a platform, we don't create them. A good platform, it don't become one of the biggest platform for we do the things them for report about the war for Ambazonia and the body politics of La République du Cameroon primarily. So it don't do a great work as a young girl with a lot of inspiration, a lot of energy, a lot of courage. You know, La République colonial government too. Mefo too don't suffer for poor behind hand. When Mefo be there back home, the work for Equinox. It be a very good journalist. It go right for the war, go report the real truth. It be the only one. The only one. And I be admire that girl for the courage we be getting for report that kind of truth. When it's time for report that truth, Paul Bia, vex, yeah, Isa Chiroma, carry this girl go lock her. For frightening the girl, may not report them again. So obviously, after he come out prison, you know, they go for do things then, for making me relax, me no over put shame for poor bear head. So they finally work. The movie outside, no problem. It don't get work. It don't get it work. It life don't be stable. It be more secure if you do a good job as a journalist. The audio don't come out now. When the leader move this audio, he put them outside. Oh, people they don't call me. Oh, when I don't hear what me Mefo don't write them. Oh, when I don't hear what me Mefo write them about Dr. Yaba. Oh, when I don't hear what me Mefo write them about the Ambazonian Revolution. Oh, me Mefo talk say Dr. Yaba don't do this. Oh, me Mefo talk say Dr. Yaba don't talk say the revolution, the war, it don't fail. They send for me. They say, P.S. The people that they call me for all kind of side. The kind of reaction they will get them. Oh, Asu, you don't hear what me Mefo talk about Dr. Eba. Oh, Asu, you don't hear what me Mefo talk about the leader. You don't see the kind of bad thing me Mefo write down. Then when me say, I carry my own eye with my own head. I go for the platform. I say, maybe I go read what me Mefo write down. I read. I said, check people then. Now wait till this guy talk. When he over battle, now they make me an office sleep for night. Wait till me Mefo talk. Me Mefo listen to Dr. by audio. He take the audio, he write analysis of what Dr. Abba talk. Why would I not like true? Dr. Abba speak the truth. Those things that they happen. Families, they carry their body from one town for go for village. They fight also the day for road. They go tell them they pay money. Na lie. Why una not like them? Because it be shameful. I think that una not like them. Because of that shame. That's why I get for end. We no need for cover them. We need for speak them. We need for condemn them. And we need for expose them. That's leadership. The leader don't talk them. The ground soldier, they must get a code of conduct. I want to salute Mefo. And I want actually thank Mefo for making this thing become more popular. For exposing these petty criminals. Where they don't take a war of independence, they turn them for give we bad name and a shame and pain for some instances. I want to thank you, Mefo. We thank you for this for this article we write about Dr. Abai audio. I don't see anything bad where you write about Dr. Abai for that audio. You take the audio, you make message, you put them outside. I want to thank you, say, the only thing we want to ask you, Mefo. Now say, you talk, say, Dr. Abai, you talk, say, they don't derail the revolution. That's the only thing that we not correct. But any other thing we talk for quote is correct. But the one we talk, say, that one, those things that they do, it don't derail the revolution. That's the only thing I not correct. Every other thing is correct. And I want to thank you for the courage. For take the leader truth and speak them out. But when you speak them out, Mefo, as a journalist, would only beg you sometimes to call. Call. Say, hey, we don't hear this audio. Now for which context the leader be talk about it. Alright? I know say La Republic don't tell una. Muna not call Dr. Abase be leader for the Ambazonian War of Independence. We know that one. You don't need for calling. But at least give the respect as the president of Governing Council of Ambazonia. Alright? He be a leader of leaders. Give that respect. I know say they don't tell you may not ever call the name for ADF for your platform. And we know that one. Two bomb, ADF don't carry 2 bomb attack today. We know say they don't tell una no reporter. Because if una the fear, they tell una say they no one recognize ADF as the leading force for ground zero because for the fear for negotiate with Dr. Eba. We know the game. But even you, Mefo, my sister, they tell you. Today I call you my sister. Because at least somehow all we will be brothers and sisters. Alright? I tell you, Mefo. All those games we wanna play them from 2017 till now, they don't end. Alright? They don't end. When I come for we can get the news and represent the news as it happen. We not ask for any other thing. When I just represent the news as we're supposed to represent them. ADF carry out action. When I give them the credit of their action. You don't need for police phobia. You be a journalist. When I get a role for player. Journalists they get a role for player. And the role where we not play. If we not play, if not play, we not role with dishonesty. We not also go carry the blame for una dishonesty. You and that other guy for CNA, Cameroon News Agency. We not go also carry the responsibility for failure to represent what it really happened. Because how things are being represented go determines the solution. If we not distort things, then the solution will also be based on distorted facts. Just reach out. We post something, reach out. Reach out my office. Say, hey, we don't hear this thing. Ask me. What you when I think? What you when I do? Now when I carry out this action, ask. We go give you all the information. We go tell you the commander, the unit, everything, the time. Sometimes if you want, we will even give you the video them. As long as our soldier their face they be covered. As long as intelligence no day, we go make our forces. If it make them, if it make them they become victim of the terrorist forces of Cameroon. So, Mefo, I want to just call you for thank you for just thank you for what you don't do, and I want to encourage you to continue with truth. All right, we don't see they say when they group them where they don't probably don't tell una support them when they do something, una go call their name. You go call their name. But when ADF do something, you go do a generalization. That one will not like them. That one not fine. And I only call you out for that one. But for all the rest, so far you do a great job. Your platform, you speak more, you talk about the atrocities them. So you do a great job, and I want to thank you for the work where they do. All right? So now the story that for today, I want to make una live here for conclusion. Una live here any place where you dey. The Ambazonian people, their war of liberation, it be based on certain truth where no man of it deny. Stand on those truths. Defend those truths. Speak the truth. Work on waiting the work. All right? Work on waiting the work. Support waiting the work. Support what it makes sense. Support what it be measurable. The Ambazonia Defense Forces and our sister forces, they did do a great job. We go continue. Me especially. All right? I owe them for the Ambazonian people them. For speak the truth. And for hold every leader for this war of independence. For public accountability. Until they rise for the level of effective leadership. Failed organizations and failed institutions, they don't drag it back for the last 3 years. The moment they start to do the right thing, it be better for the Ambazonian people then. Yerima say don't launch a project for structural forces for ground and give them weapons. We welcome the idea. We welcome the idea, as I don't tell now. We welcome a structured force with a chain of command. We'll be very clear, saying that their force is this. We welcome them. It go help all we for collaborate. You know, if you collaborate with forces, you not get name, we not get commanders. It go help to make the collaboration within Ambazonia more effective without Connie. So now for the greater benefit of all Ambazonians, now all that we ask. Now all that. Now for all we. The liberation are for all we. When organizations and leaders they become more effective, it move Ambazonia forward. It move all we forward. So it's fine for all we. Alright? So we wanna relax. We know how to create change. And sometimes we use strategies where we go only know them 3 months after. We're not going to see the change. The change they will come. They don't get any choice. I be a scientist when it comes for create change. I will feel engineer them for the way be inconvenient. They would set up for the way the person not escape out. All right? Una don't worry. Una relax. The change they come. Okay? No person want fail. The two want succeed. And we want me to succeed because it been for the collective. It been for the collective good for the Ambazonian people then. You think I want me to fail? No, I want me to succeed. I want me to succeed. Now for the good of all we. You think say if they don't put forces them, the structure forces them. You know, say, oh, they for the collaborate now. The groups they for the collaborate now, fine. No, so. So now for all we, now don't worry. We know how to set this trap, these psychological traps for leader, they for rise. All right? Sometimes you got to poke a little bit. Okay? They call it social leverage. So now relax. We know how to do the work. I need to understand. When I don't understand what you don't do for pobia. So the pobia will say no one change. He come out, he go create bilingualism commission, and then he come out. He come out. Even La Republique, the try for change.
Ambazonia Defense Forces,
See, man.
the vanguards of the Ambazonia
Relax.
War of
Things
Independence.
that move forward for all we. Now for the greater interest of all Ambazonians. All right? They make you not accept complacency, not accept laziness, not ever accept leadership laziness, not accept them. It be destructive. Not accept them. Not tolerate them. We're not going to build a country based on laziness and cunning. We're going to build a country based on effectiveness. All right? The effective leadership. Now, for the move. And any man you know and play the game for that level, sorry, you will be left behind. Now, the standard that would all set up for Amazonia. All right? So, I thank you plenty. I want to tell when I say, they say, a lot of things that happen for ground zero. A lot of things the way the General FM, it implement them for ground zero. So there will be a lot of changes going forward for ground zero in terms of how this will be carried out. As we tell you now, the new strategy be implemented. Probably tomorrow I will can talk more about the new strategy. And people will say, oh, but why one can't review a strategy? No. All Ambazonians, they need to be educated on the strategy so that any man know the implementation process. All right? So, una stay fine. If anything, they go reach out for una. But for now, now the news this for today. For now, now the talk this for today. Make we continue for stand on way to be right for our people then. We stand for continue for advocate unblinkingly for our people then. As we don't talk. Oh, one final thing. For all our people then for Bamenda. Una force is a day for una back. Una understand say we don't talk. There is no lockdown for Ambazonia. There is no lockdown of the city of Bamenda. There's no lockdown. Una go about una businesses. Now only one day out of the week will be for the collective sacrifice and collective defiance. Now only country Sunday, when a Monday. And the only day that. Anytime when something day we require a lockdown, where people will be consulted and the lockdown will be maximum 1-2 days max. There is no indefinite lockdown. Make no man hear that talk. Who be who for tell people they made lock themselves for house? Now who be the nyamfuka for tell Ambazonians made they lock themselves for house indefinitely? Ambazonians are not prisoners. Of anybody. Who be the nyamfuka? We go tell one mommy them, one papa them. 600,000 people. You say, may they lock themselves for house indefinitely. I guess some people, they don't smoke banger too, like a tanganji. My fellow mommy them, one papa them, all what people in Bamenda. Una forces, they don't reject everything. So too, una. We must rise. Anything we not find for our people, they must reject them. Always. The spirit of liberation. Now for clean out all this nonsense. Not just for fight the war. In the process of fighting the war, we got for clean out all the cunning, all the intoxication, all the manipulation, all those evil. We got for clean them all out. Now part of the liberation process that. All right. So as always, we send one love and one thank one for one courage, one thank one for one bravery, one thank one for one commitment and dedication for this war of independence, the liberation and the freedom. Now for one, we do them all together. All right. I send one love and I send one blessings. I'll talk one tomorrow. May God bless all man.
in 2016.
The world saw an uprising in Ambazonia.
The people rose up to demand justice. First, the world wondered what the Anglophone problem was and what it was all about. Then it watched the Anglophone problem transform into Southern Cameroon's Ambazonia War of Liberation. They thought it started in 2016. They thought it was just about the supremacy of one language over another. They thought it was only about the marginalization of the English-speaking people of Cameroon. They thought it was all about 2 cubes of sugar. They thought it was the quest for a disgruntled minority to create another failed state. They were right, because it was the quest of the first democratic state in Africa to reclaim its independence and liberate itself from the tyranny of the most autocratic and corrupt state in Africa. This is when and how it all started. The Chronicles of Ambazonia.